Hello, and thanks for joining me at IT Homelab Online. In this video, we're going to deploy Plex Media Server as a new Docker stack with a Tailscale sidecar so we can reach it securely from anywhere without opening ports on our router. By the end of this video, you'll have Plex running in its own stack, claimed your Plex account, and reachable both on your local network and over your Tailnet. I'm running this on my Dell Latitude 5411 Proxmox host inside the Docker 01 Ubuntu VM. If you followed along with the previous Docker videos, you'll already have this one set up. Now, let's get started. Now, let's start by creating our new stack folder. Now, I've already done this, so I will connect into my Docker host. Okay. I'll change to my media Docker scripts. I've created a new folder called Plex, and I'll go through the compose file. Okay, so we're pulling the Plex Media Server Docker latest image from Plex themselves. Just giving it a name of Plex, telling it to only restart if stopped. The label here is to allow it to automatically update using Watchtower. And you can see I've got my standard variables, so my time zone is set here, which pulls from the environment variables. My user ID, my group ID. There's a command and environment variable in here to let the Plex container know that it's a Docker one, and this Plex claim token that I'll show you shortly. Under the volumes, same setup as previously. So storing my data in my config folder under a Plex folder. This one's a new entries, the slash media or the media variable. So I'll show you that one in the environment file as well. And this is basically setting a folder so that it can transcode videos locally. This is just a standard pass-through device, and it calls the Tailscale Plex container here as well. So very similar to what I've set up previously. And you can see here it's using an auth key from the environment variable file, and this is the ports that it's exposing. All right. Now I'll show you the environment variables. So you can see here I've added a new one called media, and this is pointing directly to my NAS, and it creates a folder called Plex data if it doesn't already exist. This is my TS auth key masked because I'm also using a secrets environment variable, and this will need to be a new clone token. Basically, you need a new one every time you build a new Plex server, but you can easily grab the claim token from this URL here. So what we might do first of all is we'll copy that and open up that URL. Now, because I haven't set up an account previously, uh, this will initially ask me to log in. I'm just going to tell it to continue with Google. It's going to create a new account for me for this demo using my Gmail account and continue. So that's created a new claim token. You can see here it only lasts for 4 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll copy that into the clipboard, go back to this environment file and paste in there. Then I'll do a Docker up. I'm also using aliases for bringing my containers up. That's how I get it to use multiple environment variable files. I'll show you that a little bit later, but you can see that's brought that up. I did already have the images downloaded, so it was very quick. If yours takes too long and your claim token expires, you can simply come to this page and do a refresh. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Tailscale. And I'll just go to my admin machines. Okay. It should have now created. No, it hasn't created Plex. Let me just double check that. It's running. Okay. Let me bring it down again. And I'll just purge my Tailscale folder. Just for the Plex image, so then it will recreate it. Okay, so it doesn't exist, which means it didn't create it correctly. So let's try dock up again. Do a refresh. And there I have a Plex connected. So I'll disable the expiry key on that. Go in here, copy this URL. Hopefully I've still got 2 minutes left on my token. If not, I would have had to refresh it, reclaim it, etc. Now, I have found that occasionally I have issues getting it to register. So just by using the URL and port number, but I found if I use the /web at the end, that seems to be a little bit more reliable as far as going through the setup process to claim the account. So now we've come to this setup page. I can tell from this page that it has used the claim token successfully. So now I'll click on Got It. Now you do have the option to subscribe to some of their plans. I have a Plex Pass Premium, but I have a lifetime subscription. I got that on sale probably 10 or 12 years ago. I think it cost me about $50 US. The prices have gone up since then. I'm not sure what the current pricing is, but so now what you can do here is you give your Plex host a name. So if you've got multiple Plex servers, you can have unique names for them. Select next. Then what you can do is add a media library. So I'll click here and say add. This is for adding your own content. If you've got your own content to add, if you want to go through and rip your Blu-rays and that sort of thing. But if I click on movies and say next, browse for a media folder. Now I've got the, if I go back to here, I've got my Plex data folder listed down the bottom here. Now there's currently nothing in there for me to browse. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop back here and I'm going to do a make directory under my configs folder. Then I've got my Plex. Actually, no, I'm not, because this is stored on my NAS. So it'll be my NAS. Then I have my Plex data folder that it automatically created. So I'm going to make a folder called movies. And I'm going to make a folder called series. So then when I come back to this folder here, I'll deselect to go back to Plex data. So now I can select my movies folder. And what I would then do is when I rip my legally purchased Blu-rays and DVDs, I would dump those into the movies folder. So I'll say add library, and there it's created a movies library. I'll add another one for TV series. They call it TV shows. I tend to call it series. So I'll rename that to my liking. Browse again. Same deal. Plex data series folder. Okay, so that's the two that I'm going to add for now. You could also, which what I do for my family setup is I have a children folder under my Plex data, and then under my children folder, I had movies and series, and then I also have a parents folder that has movies and series underneath it as well. Then when I name the library, I just name it movies, parents, movies, children, and you can basically do a bit of family filtering there. So now I click next and done. Now this is setting up basically what you have pinned to your sources down on the left-hand side of the screen. Um, I tend to leave it by default to start with because you can then go and add and remove. So I'm just going to say finish setup there and save my choices. So now you can see what it's done is it's added in my personal movies there that I don't have any, and my series there that I don't have any. But it also has these other options to use live TV. Um, and there are hundreds of channels that you can go through if you've got specific interests. You can go through, you can mark them as favorites and that sort of thing. But it's effectively giving you a whole bunch of live streaming Plex channels available to you if you haven't added your own series and movies. But you also have, these are live streaming like television channels. You also have this option here for movies and shows, and these are on-demand movies and shows that you can watch, all part of the package. Uh, so that's pretty much it for the Plex Media Server, self-hosted. So one more thing we need to do is we just go back into the compose file, and we'll just put a comment next to this Plex claim because we don't need that anymore. Then we'll do a Docker down, Docker up. That just cleans it up, saves it getting any errors in the logs or anything like that. Trying to reclaim on an exposed token. Once it's claimed, it should stay there permanently. So now I just go back to this screen here and do a refresh, make sure we're still up and running. And it's all looking good. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.